There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt.
$55 billion.
So far.
Over 1,000 contracts have been canceled, and I think that the number is only going to go up, Ainsley.
Yeah, and he's even showing an interest in the idea of guaranteeing a $5,000 check to every American. It would be called the Doge dividend.
Let's go, baby! Y'all, that's my president, Donald J. Trump. So, y'all, Trump just announced that he is considering giving the American people a refund after finding out the government has been stealing from us for far too long. Yeah. Y'all, the media mad. Oh, they are really mad. Promises made, promises kept. And let me tell you here, okay? It's called Doge dividends. Yeah, Elon told Trump about it. But guess who told Elon about it? My homeboy, James Fishback. James Fishback came up with the idea to give Americans Doge dividends. He posted about it. He had a whole proposal. And then Elon responded and said he will let President Donald Trump know about it. And then the next day, President Donald J. Trump said he will be considering giving the American people a refund. The refund that we deserve. Actually, you know what? Abolish the IRS. They lost. How do y'all not know what happened to $4.7 trillion? How does the government not know what happened to $4.7 trillion? Spending money on ridiculous stuff. We don't pay taxes for half of that crap they were spending it on. They owe us a refund. We want our money back, okay? Doge dividends. I love it. We deserve our money back. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, Doge. Thank you, Elon Musk. And thank you, James Fishback, for coming up with the idea, Doge dividends. Oh my.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to kill our citizens, we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh, Billy Willie Jilly. We got to throw some gravy on it, family. Family, we have to throw some gravy on it. It's finna get good. It's finna get a little bit of sweet, maybe a little bit of spicy. I don't know, man. Y'all grab y'all popcorn. Buckle in. This might be the best video you watch today. I'm being real. It might be the best video you watch today. So much is going on right now. Trump just broke the internet. Trump just is trending worldwide. Tax refunds trending. Doge dividends. So much is happening right now. Democrats are still freaking out, losing it, crying. Them liberals is crying. You know, people they know they're guilty, and they know they need to be walked out with their hands behind their back. And that's what we advocating for on this channel. I need to see somebody thrown in jail, somebody held accountable, and spit on the people. Stole, theft, yeah, not just abused and wasted, theft. You know, then lied to. Somebody got to be held accountable. You know, and I love that auditors are being audited. I think everybody should be audited. Shoot, the members of Congress, let's just go down the list. People that said they got this salary here, but now they're worth millions and billions of dollars. No, don't work that way. Yeah, somebody got to put their hands behind their back and be thrown in jail. I'm just saying. That's what we advocating for. And right now, trending is that we're getting maybe some money back or a refund. I tell you, we've been screaming and hollering, pissed off, hotter than fish grease after all this corruption has been exposed of the wasteful spending, of where our money's actually going, and how so much is happening right now, y'all. But now they He talking about sending it back to the people. And I think registered Democrats, if they was to send out a check to anybody, their checks ought to go to homeless veterans. I'm just saying. Though they shouldn't receive a check. And only people that pay taxes. That paid in. I'm just saying, look, hear me out. But we got to get into this, y'all. Oh boy. There's so much to talk about, so many videos that's going on right now. Everybody wants a refund on the tax they've been paying. Everybody wants a refund. People want the IRS to be shut down. People say we don't even need a handout. We just need to shut this down, abolish the IRS. We don't even need a handout. Let's pay down the debt. I don't want a handout. Some people are saying, no, I want my refund and I want it with interest. Hey, let me know how y'all feel. Again, we seeing a lot. It's like a 80-20 or 80 or 70-30. Some people say no. Some people say yes, I want a refund. Some people say no, pay down the debt, do this, do that. Well, matter of fact, I don't want a refund, but just shut this down, shut the IRS down. Only keep sales tax. Only keep this. So again, everybody has different opinions on this, and that's the best thing I love about taking it all in. And everybody has amazing ideas of what Trump should do or what this should do, and a lot of things are going to be implemented and considered. So much is going on. We definitely got to get into this, though, y'all. I'm fired up right now, man. Yeah, I'm fired up. For so long, man, the people we're sick and tired, man. The corrupt scam matrix is what I call it. You know, people have been left in the dark. No transparency, lied to, spit on, come last. I want to send prayers for Trump and the Trump administration, Elon Musk and Doge, of what they're doing and discovering right now. Auditors being audited, people are being walked out, fired. I'm here for it, man. Taking out the garbage. So much has been done in these last 4 weeks, man, in the last 4 years, and I'm here for it, man. We're getting exactly what we voted for. But Elon Musk is just posting nonstop. Jim Jordan said this. Let's check this out.
Democrats for now, 2 weeks have been saying instead of stopping the stupid spending, they attack the guy who's exposing the stupid spending. I think we should maybe get rid of the stupid spending. Trans comic opera in Ireland, Sesame Street on Iraqi television. I think maybe we should focus on that. No. Can't do that. And I think this just underscores the fundamental difference between the left and those of us in the Republican Party, those of us conservatives. The left thinks the bureaucrats are smarter than we the people. Got to trust the bureaucracy. Got to trust you got to trust the experts in the government. I'd rather trust the people. The 77 million people who elected President Trump, who told us he was systematically going to go through these agencies and identify dumb things where taxpayer money is going to. He told us he was going to do it. The American people understood it. He got elected. Now he's carrying out that mission, and they're attacking the guy who's President Trump has put in charge of this effort. The bureaucrats who decided Big Bird and Bert and Ernie on Baghdad TV was a good use of taxpayer money. Can't question them. Can't do that. Can't question the people in the bureau. Can't question the 108,000 people who work at Treasury. No. They're smarter than the folks President Trump has asked to come in and look at where our tax money is going. Can't question. I think about this. The smartest bureaucrat in the history of the world, Dr. Fauci, the things he told us, we weren't allowed to question him for 2 years.
Mass murder. They had to walk. That's one that should have been walked out with his hands behind his back. People need preemptive pardons. You got a criminal pardon criminals. A disgrace.
And he ran our lives. And here's the irony. Everything he told us turned out to be false. Told us tell us the virus didn't come from a lab.
Mass murder.
Yes, it did. We got agencies now that tell us that, confirm that.
Mass murder, man.
Told us the vaccinated couldn't get it. Told us the vaccinated couldn't transmit it. He's wrong on both those counts. Told us masks work. Told us 6 feet social distancing was based on science. They just made it up. Here's the kicker. He told us this is the first virus in history where there was no such thing as natural immunity. Can't question him. Gotta trust the bureaucracy. I'd prefer to trust the people. Oh, by the way, remember when they tried to set up a bureaucracy in the government that was going to tell us what we were allowed to say? They actually had tried to set up the Disinformation Governance Board as if a bunch of federal bureaucrats could tell us what we can say, what we can't say, what's information, what's disinformation. You got to be kidding me. So I'll trust the guy who was elected by 77 million Americans. I'll trust the Constitution. The executive power shall be vested in a president of the United States. You know why they did that in the Constitution? Because that's the guy who puts his name on a ballot and has to get votes, not the bureaucracy, not the thousands and thousands of people who think they're so much smarter than us regular folks who just get to vote. Trust the guy who was elected and the people he's put in charge of this effort. He told us he was going to do it. The American people elected him to do it. And maybe focus on stopping the stupid spending. After all, we have a $36 trillion debt. Finally, I would just say this. This is a good bill by a good member of our Congress, Mr. Siscomani. We passed it last year.
Oh boy, Elon Musk posted that. And there's a lot happening right now. I'm here for it, man.
Of dollars, billions. There's even under consideration a new concept where we give 20% of the Doge savings to American citizens and 20% goes to paying down debt, because the numbers are incredible, Elon. So many billions of dollars, billions, hundreds of billions, and we're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt and pay down debt. There's even
20% Americans, 20% to pay down the debt. What about the 60? I've seen a lot of you guys saying that. What about the 60? Oh, brother. Tax refund is also trending in this tab. I mean, it's everywhere, man. And some of the things that people are posting, you know.
$0.3 billion in checks to dead people. Those aren't my numbers. Those numbers come from the Office of Management and Budget. That's just 1 year. Not only is the federal government sending checks to dead people, those checks are being cashed. Now, I have heard, Mr. President, of dead people voting, but cashing the checks, you don't have to be God's perfect idiot to realize that there's fraud happening with respect to all this money.
Fraudulent checks. Yeah. People are 150 years old, 170, 300 years old, still living. Yeah. And guess what? They're voting too. It's all coming out, y'all. You know? I know y'all like, Rick, this is not a surprise. It's been going on for decades, huh? But it's all coming out, you guys. People are posting all kind of celebration memes and everything about getting their money, getting money, a tax refund. Yeah, people that been paying in thousands and thousands of dollars, but barely are struggling, making ends meet. Got to put food on the table for their kids, their loved ones, struggling. Got to pay in. Yeah. I went from owing taxes to getting a refund. Yeah, people are posting a lot of memes about taxes right now. Finally getting a refund after 3 years of owing taxes. Yeah. This has shook the internet right now. And again, what do y'all think of this? You know, what do y'all think of Doge dividends? What do you think about receiving a tax refund? Do you want one? You don't want one. Do you want, just for this to be shut down? You want the IRS to be shut down? I've seen a lot of people saying just get rid of this tax, get rid of property tax, get rid of this, keep sales tax. And again, everybody has a different opinion on this, But this is not a handout. This is our money. Again, people say to donate those checks, those registered Democrat checks to our homeless veterans. I love that comment right there. That comment is sticking with me now. Because I totally agree, man. Registered Democrat checks should go to homeless veterans. Yes, indeed, man. And we all know we have a lot of amazing people on the channel. Amazing veterans, first responders, hard-working patriots, man. People from all different kind of occupations. People that work 30, 40, 50, 100 hours a week. People that are just sick and tired, man. People that have gotten hit upside the head. You know, spit on. And that's why I make videos every single day, man. Calling out the corruption, the corrupt scam matrix. And here we are. You know, and I want to see people held accountable, walked out with their hands behind their back, made an example out of, you know, and I'm glad that these Democrats are shaking out their shoes right now. The deep state is freaking out, panicking. We're getting exactly what we voted for. All this fraud, this fraudulent crap, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, President Trump is finalizing the details of a plan to give every single American a $5,000 tax refund. And I'll tell you what, this plan has the Democrats absolutely losing their minds. So you see, right now, this tax refund is being called the Doge dividend, and the way it works is actually revolutionary. Now, as I'm sure many of you know, right now the Department of Government Efficiency is hacking and slashing all of the fraud and waste out of our federal budget. In fact, as things stand right now, the DOGE has been able to cut out over $55 billion worth of waste so far, with the ultimate goal of cutting out $2 trillion by 2026. And so now, here's what the Doge dividend proposal actually looks like. For every dollar cut by the Department of Government Efficiency, every American would get 20% of that back in the form of a tax refund. So what that means is that if you do the math on all of that, like I said earlier, we're talking about a $5,000 tax refund for every single tax-paying American. Now, the Doge dividend proposal document actually gives some extra insight and clarity into why President Trump is pursuing this at all. You see, 4 big reasons are given for the Doge tax refund. Benefit 1, it will serve to right the wrongs that were done to the American taxpayer. Benefit 2, it will share the benefits of cost cutting with the American taxpayer. Benefit 3, it will boost tax morale. And benefit 4, it will incentivize 2025 labor force participation. And then, to top all of that off, because this tax refund is driven by budget-cutting measures and not being financed, it won't even be inflationary. So folks, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this sounds like a pretty good idea. Now, that being said, not everyone is happy about this because, as you can imagine, the folks over at CNN are actively doing everything they can to undermine all of this. But before we move on and take a look at that, it really does help Stephen Miller all of this.
The American people are exhausted and tired of watching their tax dollars be corruptly spent, abused, wasted, and in every sense robbed.
We did a whole video on this yesterday. He ended this lady's career. Yeah, live on CNN. They had to cut the break. Yeah, man, it's a disgrace. And CNN ought to shut down. Ought to shut CNN down, man. And then she defends illegals on exploiting the tax system. I just can't with CNN, man. I really can't. You know,
stolen from them. This president, for the first time in history, is committed to restoring accountability at every level of the federal government. You may assert there's no waste in the Pentagon. You may assert there's no waste in
Stephen,
Treasury.
I'm not
you may
asserting,
assert there's no waste in HHS.
Stephen, I don't think anyone.
Then why are you not celebrating these cuts? If you agree there is waste, if you agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire salaries of American workers that are taxed disappear forever.
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is not.
We're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are places.
You are clearly trying to debate me, and
Stephen Miller just mopped the floor with this lady. Mopped the floor, y'all. We did an amazing video on this, and a lot of y'all seen it. But we mopped the floor. A disgrace, man.
He supports what President Trump is doing.
Folks, you know what I absolutely love about that video? It really displays that making America great again is no longer up for debate. We all voted to give President Trump a mandate to fix this country, and guess what? That is exactly what is happening. And so really, what's sad when you think about it is that despite the vast majority of this country actually supporting everything that President Trump is doing right now, still, the corrupt legacy media is trying to push their progressive agenda. In fact, you know what? Elon Musk made a great point about all of this just last night. Take a look.
When these attacks occur, the thing that they're accusing the administration of is what they are guilty of. They're saying that things are being done unconstitutional, but what they are doing is unconstitutional.
They do. It's a con job. It's a big con job. And they're so bad for the country, so dangerous and so bad. And the media is so bad. When I watch MSNBC, which I don't...
A disgrace, man. CBS, ABC, MSNBC, the whole alphabetical order. Just shut them all down. They all ought to lose their license. And tons already done paid Trump millions. They've already been sued. And tons are still being sued right now for election interference. He lost the people's trust. Ratings have tanked. I wonder why. You lied. Propaganda, the fear-mongering, fake headlines. You didn't play the full clip. You only played this part. And that's one reason why there's another whole set of people are still brainwashed. And why they're so deranged. Derangement syndrome. Now they got Musk derangement syndrome.
I don't watch much, but you have to watch the enemy on occasion. Cheating, and they're just horrible people.
Yeah, and everyone in America knows that they're textbook definition hypocrites too, and people are just sick of it. So no wonder their ratings are in the toilet. But hey, you know whose ratings aren't in the toilet right now? Take a look at this.
Donald Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that, 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number one. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
Wow. So what's the takeaway of all of that? It means that President Trump not only has rebuilt the Republican Party, but also he's rebuilding America. And hey, here's the reality. Democrats have yet to come to terms with this reality, but guess what? Americans are absolutely loving Trump's agenda. Border security is popular. Mass deportations are popular. Focusing domestically here in America as opposed to globally elsewhere in the world is popular. Man. Cutting out government waste is popular. And guess what? $5,000 tax refunds are also pretty popular. And so, hey, this is the reason why President Trump won every single swing state and was the first Republican to win the popular vote in 20
popular vote landslide. Man won 3 elections.
Years and was able to shift all 50 states to the right in the 2024 election and now has the highest approval ratings of all time. Because people love what President Trump is doing and they're sick of all the manipulation coming from the left. In fact, take a look at what Chuck Schumer had to say about all of this just earlier this morning.
I'm telling you, they should have been got him before he put those burgers on the grill. They should have been came and put his hands behind his back. The gig is up, Chuck. Sick of seeing this clown, man.
Of course there's some wasteful spending, but you don't use a meat axe and cut everything. We need to look at each program. We need to go through Congress and see what's wasteful and move to eliminate it, and what's very not wasteful but very much needed.
So folks, that is a perfect example of the manipulation and lies from the left that people are just sick of.
They need to throw that clown in jail. Throw him in the slammer. Let him just sit there and look at the wall. Please. That's one of those ones I want to see made an example out of, man. I really do, y'all. You know, a disgrace. But Our president, man. Prayers for Trump, man. Prayers for Trump. What they are doing, y'all. Exactly what we voted for, man. But doing some of the things that they're doing, they know what comes with it, man. And this, you know what comes with, and Trump knows what comes with being a leader, you know. And he said, even I won't bend the knee, I won't yield, even in the face of death. Prayers for Trump, man. This is one of the reasons why they didn't want this man in. Everything that is happening right now, you guys. They didn't want this man in because of this exact reason. And he's doing what he promised. Promises made, promises kept.
And they're really something, but you'll be seeing it and you will be reading about it. But just some taken at random, $2 million for sex change operations in Guatemala.
He went off for 4 minutes calling out, you know, where our money's been going.
$2 million for Sesame.
All these woke, insane projects. Where you and our money been going.
Street performances in Iraq. 20 million, that's a lot of money. You know, I know what it costs to do those things. You get a cast over for 50,000, give them a couple of bucks tip, and that's it, not 20 million. 20 million, that's Gone with the Wind on steroids. $101 million for 29 diversity, equity, and inclusion contracts at the Department of Education. Wow. And we've canceled all of these, saved all of this money. And again, this is just a small sample. This could go on. I could read them all day. $520 million for a consultant. I want to know who is that consultant? To do ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance investments in Africa. $25 million to promote biodiversity, conservation, and licit livelihoods by developing socially responsible behavior in Colombia. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that even means. None of this stuff, everyone's trying
I love how they're all laughing, but this is real, you guys. This is real. Like, the money's really going to that. We don't even know what it is. That's real.
To figure out what the hell does it all mean? $42 million for social and behavior changes in Uganda. 40 million's a lot of newspaper ads in Uganda. $70 million for research of evidence-based solutions for development challenges. $10 million for Mozambique medical male circumcision. What does that mean? $2.3 million for...
Trump is something, man, but you know, I'm so happy he's back, man. I'm so happy we spoke loud and clear. I want to thank you guys, man, that we are here, that we are back, and that we just keep winning, man. And I know it, you know, our president gives us a good laugh, but you ought to be pissed off right now. You ought to be hotter than fish grease. To see what is all happening, especially in what just took place these last 20 days.
Strengthening independent voices in Cambodia. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $486 million to the Consortium for Elections and Political Process Strengthening, including $22 million for inclusive, participatory political process in Moldova.
It's crazy, man.
Elections. $29 million to strengthen.
And it goes on and on and on. That list is just disgusting, man.
$2.5 million for inclusive democracies in South Africa. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well. We don't need to give them money.
Yeah, but we the people struggling. Veterans, homeless, People that have been spent on can barely afford this, that, you know. And then still pay my taxes, pay this, pay that, taxed on this, taxed on that, even taxed on fruit, on everything, on fruit, yeah, on everything, taxed 100 times. So yeah, I'm with the people, man, that's pissed off right now. I'm with the people. I'm with the people screaming, I need a refund plus interest. I'm with the people, man.
And in another program, $50 million plus another $50 million for condoms for Hamas. You know about that?
Ridiculous, man. But I want to hear from you guys. What do y'all think of all this? You know, can't wait to hear from my family. Read some of the comment section. As you can see there, the Trump and Elon Musk syndrome, the Ranger syndrome, is still happening. People are protesting, but at 80-90% of the people are happy with what's going on. You know, they are happy with what is going on. And Trump, we're going to end it off with this right here. You know, we got to end it off right, man. But let me know what y'all think. God bless you all and your families. I love you guys, man. One love to the human race. Common sense is back. A new direction. The golden age. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the family. We're on a road to 500,000 beautiful patriots around the world. And we're going to keep you updated. We're going to stay on the ground running. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, family.